Hey folks, Gardner here. I just wanted to come on and give you a couple pro tips regarding the Aircast. One good thing is to have two Aircasts. They can get sweaty and nasty, and you want to have two. I had one from the beginning for 3 weeks from the ER when the injury first happened, and then I got another one from the orthopedic after the surgery, after the 2 weeks, and after the sutures came out. But one thing I really would recommend is if you're not using the air bladder, the bags, there are two plastic bags on each side of the Aircast, and they are, if you're not using them, you know, if you are using them, I believe this pump pumps it up and then this locks it, and then it really secures your foot in place. But I don't think that is what is the protocol for the Achilles tendon injury. So that is not necessary. And what I found was this created a lot of sweat, you know, a lot of sweat, and it led to a little bit of a rash. And so I finally figured out, just take them out and you won't have the sweat. The other thing is, when I first had the boot for the first 3 weeks, I really wasn't using any socks or liner or anything, and I really should have been. This liner here, it's a really thin, really nice, like a tube liner that the orthopedics office gave me. This is excellent. And then I also purchased these long tube socks for specifically for the walking boot, and these are really good too. They really work well. What I don't recommend is regular socks. Regular socks seem to be too thick, too tight. They cause swelling, and when you take them off, you know, you got all kinds of indentations and marks and everything just from the socks. So I don't recommend regular socks. The other thing I did also to increase the airflow in the Aircast was all of these little holes along the sides. They're kind of like ventilation holes, and I took some of the larger ones, and I actually traced them out with a pencil or a marker or something, and I used a razor knife, and I cut out the foam liner in those spots where the holes were, and you know, that really increased the ventilation in the boot, and really worked well. Another pro tip that I would recommend is you can wash this boot, which is amazing. And I apologize for my pronunciation of warsh. I believe it is spelled W-A-R-S-H. I'm from Maryland, and here we say wash. You wash your clothes, you wash your car, and you wash your Aircast boot. If you're from another part of the country, you might say wash. I don't say wash, I say wash. We're real close to Washington, the capital. Although there is a Washington on the other side of the country. But in any event, I digress. Yes, you can wash this Aircast, and it's real easy. You know, everything is kind of Velcroed on, so you can actually take this liner out of the hard plastic frame or whatever, and then you have this, and then you also have this this plastic guard on the front, which also is Velcroed on, and that can come out. And then the foam heel or the foam liner inside, I kind of recommend, you know, I recommend that can come out as well. And that can be kind of washed off with anything, you know, with a hand wipe, or even run it under the water and let it dry. I kind of do that separately. And then you're left with this here foam liner. And then I hand wash this. I just put it in a sink, a little bit of detergent or you know, vinegar or hydrogen peroxide, whatever you want to use, you know, but just let it soak, hand wash it, rinse it real well, and I set it out in the sun to dry. And once it was dry, you know, it's clean. And then we just put it all back together. So put that all back together, you got a nice clean boot. And here you can see the holes in the foam that I cut out for ventilation. That works really well. And the other thing I would recommend is to stay focused on getting out of the boots in a timely fashion. At this point, I've been in the boots for 8 going on 9 weeks. I had 3 weeks in the boot when the injury first happened, and then I had the surgery, and then now it's week 5 going on week 6 after the surgery, and I will be having a follow-up just in 4 or 5 days, and that will be the 6-week follow-up. And at that point, we'll have to see what the surgeon says. Obviously, he's going to assess your healing and what he, you know, feels is appropriate. But I'm kind of thinking that he may, at that point, especially for myself, I'm a physically active person, which doesn't mean anything, folks. That does not mean anything. This injury, this tendon, it takes a certain amount of time to heal and get strong regardless. And you have to respect that. And you have to go with the protocol that your surgeon advises. And you've got to let that tendon heal. But at the same time, I'm a big believer in physical therapy, in weight bearing, in exercising the muscles of the calf muscles, the ankle, and all the tendons, all the muscles in the foot, and everything. You know, I have found, and you'll probably, if you're have been in the Aircast, you'll agree, or you know, whatever. But being in that Aircast, it immobilizes your lower leg, and your calf muscle just simply does not get engaged. And after, you know, after 6, 8 weeks in the Aircast, you know, your calf muscle, it shrinks and it turns into jelly. I mean, it turns into just flab, and it's a little alarming. You know, it's like, what is happening? I mean, your good leg, you know, turns into Olympic weight training. I mean, this thing is like, you know, in the best shape of its life. And this one has just shrunken and become pathetic. And that is concerning and alarming. And that's not what we want, you know. Obviously, like I said, there's a certain amount of healing, a certain amount of time that has to be put in, allowing that tendon and that surgery, that you know, everything to grow back together and to get strong again. And tendons are a strange, you know, they're not bones, they're not muscles, they're not skin, it's just a different organism, and it takes a different, you know, it doesn't quite heal as fast as other parts of your body. It's a little bit complicated, and so it needs a certain time to, you know, get patched back together and get strong. So, you know, you have to be really careful with that tendon. I'm at week 5 going on week 6, and I'm not gonna lie, I take my own physical therapy and my own body and everything into my own hands a little bit. I listen to the surgeon, I research as much as possible, I look at other people's experiences and videos on YouTube and different forums, and I try to educate myself as much as possible. But at the end of the day, I kind of know my body, and it's in my hands to get myself back on my feet. And that's what I'm going to do. You know, that's what I'm doing. And that's what you have to do to get back on your feet. You can't just lay there in the recliner and expect you're just going to magically heal. I mean, you know, you do magically heal. I mean, healing is like, it's miraculous. Quite simply, I would say it is miraculous. And for myself, being a man of faith, extreme faith in the Lord, I believe it's a spiritual thing. You know, the healing process is a spiritual thing. The Holy Spirit within us causes this healing. You know, that's my belief, you know, and so, but of course we have to do our part and be smart and be careful, to be faithful, and just, you know, allow that healing process. But we also have to do our part. We have to do some work, you know. We got to move that foot. We've got to rotate it. We've got to push it forward and push it back, you know, stretch it, you know, try to, you know, start slowly getting back to that dorsiflexion. You know, I mean, plantar flexion is no problem. We're going with our toes straight forward, but the dorsiflexion, bringing our toes back towards us, you know, at this point, I'm at neutral. You know, I'm at 90 degrees. I'm, you know, I can, under my own power, I can get it to 90 degrees, maybe a little more. You know, it's starting to come back towards me a little bit. But at this point, at 5 weeks, going on 6 weeks post-surgery, we are not looking for extreme dorsiflexion whatsoever. Whatever I say, folks, make sure you consult your surgeon, your physical therapist, you know, the professionals to give you the right protocol for your situation. Every situation is different. Every body is different. Every injury is different. You know, every surgery is different. So I'm just giving you my experience. But at this point, you know, my surgeon, he kind of, you know, was encouraging, you know, a little stretching, a little dorsiflex, you know, that's the hard part, is getting that stretch, getting that tendon back into dorsiflexion beyond the 90-degree neutral mark, you know, because we need that, you know, we need that. This is the good foot, and I mean, I can get that back way past 90 degrees, you know, I can get it back towards me. This one, that's about it. You know, we're looking at 90 degrees, and that's it. And as you see, I'm in my regular shoes, and don't necessarily recommend this for everyone. It all depends, like I said, on your surgeon, the protocol, the physical therapy, your personal injury, your personal, you know, experience and everything. You know, everybody's different. But for me, I have been transitioning from the boot, the wonderful boot, which is our protection, and this is very helpful because this keeps your foot at neutral. At this point, you know, I'm no wedges in the boot, you know, so we're at 90 degrees, and you know, this is a very helpful device, very necessary, but it does not allow any of your muscles, you know, it doesn't allow your ankle to move left and right, forward and back. It doesn't allow the calf muscle to be engaged, and it contributes or causes the atrophy, which is the wasting away of your muscle. Your muscle turning into jello, and it's alarming and concerning, and you know, I'm sure you're like me, you don't want no parts of it. So you know, at some point we're going to have to transition from the boot into regular shoes. It's just a matter of fact. I mean, that's what we're going for, folks. Again, we want to do it carefully, slowly, methodically, and according to protocol. It has to be done correctly. But for myself, I've gotten into the shoes, and I'm walking. You know, I'm still at 90 degrees, so it's still a little bit like a club foot, but I am practicing putting the heel down first and then coming through, and, you know, just going through the basic mechanics of walking. But even just standing, you know, this could be, you know, a big step, a big accomplishment for a lot of people, is just being able to put weight on this side. Because at first, you know, you're gonna have kind of nerve pain, heel pain, a lot of different sensations. You know, your body's just not used to having weight on here. And then also, you know, all of these little tendons and muscles and calf muscles and everything start engaging for the first time in 6, 8, 9 weeks or whatever. And they are just not used to it, folks. And so they'll get sore pretty quickly. And I mean, I have, you know, had some muscle soreness, which I fully welcome. You know, I believe in that. I personally believe in early weight bearing. I really do. Again, it can be different for each and every person and for each individual surgery, and every surgeon is going to have a different protocol, but I am not afraid of getting some early weight bearing and getting, you know, the blood flow and the muscles engaged and everything. I believe it's beneficial for healing, as long as it's done in a very controlled, careful, methodical way. Because at this point, 5 weeks going on 6 weeks after surgery, I am still in danger of tearing that repair. That repair is not finished yet. It is not fully healed. It is not fully strong yet. And I could make one mistake. I can trip, I can step on something, whatever, and land on that front of my foot and force my foot into extreme dorsiflexion and tear that repair. And, you know, that's about the worst thing you can do. You know, a re-rupture is what they call it. And that is the number one thing you want to avoid. That is the worst thing possible. So we do not want to do that. That's why you have to be extremely careful. But anyway, folks, that's my little update video. You know, today is September 15th. So today is day 36 since the surgery. The healing is well underway, folks, well underway. But again, I'm not, you know, I'm not thinking that it's finished. It is nowhere near finished. I've got at least, I believe, another 6 weeks. So maybe at week 12, as long as we've been careful and doing everything we're supposed to, I think at week 12, I will start to feel confident in the strength of the tendon and in the healing of that repair. This injury does take 6 to 12 months to get back to normal. I mean, 12 months, 1 year to get back to normal. That's from what I understand, and that's what I expect. I believe in 6 months I'm going to be doing pretty good. I'm going to try. That's what I'm going for. We'll see. We'll see how we're doing in 6 months. But I'm not thinking it's going to be any less than 12 months before I'm not really thinking about it anymore. I'm kind of back to normal. That's our goal. That's where we want to be. Anyway, folks, I meant for this to be a very short video. And again, of course, I'm rambling on. So thank you for joining me here at The Artistic Gardener, where we do gardening and we do Achilles tendon healing recovery journey videos. So if you're a gardener, thank you for joining. We're going to have some gardening along with other things, mushroom hunting and who knows what else, pizza making, who knows. But if you're here for the Achilles tendon injury, the Aircast pro tips, thank you for joining me. I hope you got something out of the video. Consider liking and subscribing and following me along on my journey. And if you're in the same journey, you know, my thoughts and prayers are going out to you, and my support and encouragement. If you have any questions or anything, if I can help in any way, put them down in the comments down below and I will get back to you. But anyway, good luck on your journey. Thank you for coming along for my journey, and we'll see you again next time. All right, folks, thanks a lot. We'll see you again next time. All right, bye-bye.